Jack Kerouac, he drank himself to death in New England, and I'd like to take his hand.
Jimmy John's his mind something else, so they get delivered to a sandwich. Read the legal article if you must, but we assure you, it will be a refund. Jimmy John's.
On without him. The songs howl like beat, poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls.
Welcome to Talkin VAWLS, episode number 55, brought to you by the Outright Geekery Podcast Network at outrightgeekery.com. Also, we are currently live on YouTube via the S&B Network. Make sure you go ahead and smash that like button, share out the link. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Boss JP.
And I'm Dauber. What's going on?
We are at Talkin VAWLS _pod on Facebook and Twitter. Wherever you get social with your media, do us a favor. Go ahead and share out the link. Go ahead and smash that like button. We've only got 25 in here. I knew that was going to happen. What did you think would have happened if Tennessee lost today? 500 people in here?
Oh, it would, yeah, probably. And you'd have been begging me to even sign on.
Check it out, guys. The Talkin VAWLS t-shirts are officially out. They're shipping. A lot of people got them today, sending us tweets, sending us messages on Facebook, showing us their shirts. So, man, they're good quality. I like them. I'm happy.
1-0 in them too, baby.
1-0. Tennessee has not given up a single point since the Talkin VAWLS t-shirt released.
They must have mailed mine by Pony Express.
Yours didn't show up in the mail today?
I don't know. I hadn't even went out and then looked at the mail. Well, Brandy did earlier, but didn't even look at it. It hadn't ran yet.
No. Well, Vols take care of business today, man. That's exactly what we wanted. It's what we expected with week number 1. Unfortunately, the season didn't start the way we wanted. I don't know where to start. I think with the offensive line right out of the gate, Wanya Morris left tackle, Trey Smith, Brandon Kennedy, Darnell Wright, and Calvert at right tackle. I think this is the offensive line that they need to roll with moving forward. You know, whether they're great or whether they're not, this is the offensive line this team should roll with.
And they stuck with those guys for a couple drives consistently without rotating guys in and out. And I think once you have some continuity, especially on the line, they kind of gel together and get a feel for each other. When you're constantly shuffling people in and out, you know, it makes it hard.
Yeah, I mean, I agree for sure. And I think I think you got to find a way to get Morrison right on the field. I think, 5-star offensive tackles coming out of high school, you got to find a way to utilize him. And if Darnell Wright can't play tackle, put him at guard and let him do his thing. I think they're the 5 best. And listen, this is the 3rd week of the season. You don't need to be going into SEC play and not know who your 5 best offensive linemen are.
No, because that's a recipe for disaster for sure. Certainly is.
Let's roll through the chat, see who we got hanging out. Will Leonard, Xander, Johnny Arterburn, Fubar 2020, Tracy Brown. Oh, look at that. JP's got the shirt. Brian Walker, Wookie's Gone Wild. Guys, again, go ahead, share out the link. Make sure you smash that like button. I don't want to do a t-shirt advertisement this early, but I'm so happy with the quality of the t-shirt. What do you got, Dauber? You got the light gray?
Yeah, I got the light gray.
Heather gray, yeah.
You got the heavy metal and the white, right?
Yeah, I got heavy metal and white. I really like the white, and I'm not a white t-shirt guy.
See,
fat people can't wear white shirts, but I got a white one anyway.
I thought the white looked good, but yeah, I'm with you. I can't go white, but yeah, they're soft, they're thin. I dig them.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen here and show the t-shirts, because we did get a comment this week. Somebody was upset that they missed out on the advertise or on the limited availability of these. What I didn't realize, once you print X number of shirts, they keep it up. You've got the option to keep the store open. So these are available as long as you guys want them. The links are in the description, bonfire.com/Talkin VAWLS, or you can get the cartoon shirt. It's Talkin VAWLS 2. Available in gray. Again, man, I really like the white. Looks nice, looks clean. Let me change this to the Talkin VAWLS 2, to the cartoon shirt, which, man, this is my favorite. I think if we had rolled this out first, we would have sold a lot more than we have already. But again, you couldn't get the black in this one, obviously, because the lettering doesn't show up. But that's it. I don't want to harass you guys for money, but because some of you were asking, the logo shirt is still available, and we got them in, so I'm excited.
Let's talk about this game, though.
Yeah, let's talk about it, man. Finally did what they were supposed to do. For me,
Vols are back. The Vols are
shut
back.
up. God, don't start. Don't start.
We're back. We're
JP's
back.
ready to bring on the Gators. Next week, he'll be ready to fire Jeremy Pruitt again. Somebody was hating on us this week, saying that we supported Butch Jones longer than anybody. And I was like, did you listen to anything JP said? For me, this game, what stood out more than anything is how much this defense needs Batuli. They've got to have Batuli. He's out there. He's the quarterback of the defense. He's barking. He's communicating, getting everybody set up. And I told you guys earlier, the announcers even harping on it, saying that the defense is lined up wrong. They're not lined up right on this play. So I rewound it, and you've got 11 and 33 out there running inside linebacker. And that's I'm not throwing shade at Henry T. The kid's a baller. He was all over the field
he's
today.
Gonna be awesome. Yeah,
making plays, but they need Batuli to get everybody lined up.
Yeah, definitely. That leadership speaks for itself, and that we were lacking that in game 1 and game 2.
Yep.
We need Bryce Thompson back too, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen against Florida.
George played well on the end.
But I tell you, Taylor is just, I mean, he's giving up too much cushion.
Yeah.
Warren Burrell's not playing good either.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we can throw shade at Taylor, but Burrell's got, man, all we heard is how he's balling out in fall camp.
But he's a true freshman.
I know it helped.
Well, Taylor's only a sophomore. It's not like he's a senior.
But coming off the year he had last year, I mean, that's like Garantano. He's regressed a little bit. You know, he and Thompson were supposed to be the guys, and here we are saying he's playing soft. He's given up a lot. I mean, those guys have to step up.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing with Taylor. I mean, he struggled last year at the end of the year. You know, that last month of the season, he really struggled, and I don't know. I don't know if it's his confidence or you know what's going on, but yeah, and like Boogie said, I mean, he is a true sophomore, and you know, he really didn't play corner much in high school. Really, I mean, you know, he wanted to be a wide receiver at Tennessee, and you know, convinced him that DB was where that he needed to be to help the football team and to, you know, have a long-term career there. So, you know, I mean, I'm certainly not giving up on him, but we need him to show up because, you know, I mean, I know we won this game easily today and we could have probably put 100 on the scoreboard, but it's not going to be like that next Saturday. And it's certainly, you know, I mean, you know, cupcake game's over. I mean, it's big boy football now. And, you know, I don't know. I texted y'all during that game, and I said I'm dreading the start of SEC play. I really am.
You had a single positive tweet the whole game, and they're winning 45-0. I know it's UTC, so it is what it is. But you can still see the holes that this team has.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's too many defensive linemen for UTC. You know, getting in the backfield, and you know. Making us flush out of the pocket, and then you know we're just not getting any kind of push with our defensive line. Zero, I mean just zero. So you know, and I mean I'm just being brutally honest. I just don't see how that you're going to compete in the Southeastern Conference without competent linemen.
Well, but I don't think we learned anything more of this game. I kept saying it every time you said something. We knew that. You know, the defensive line is not very good. It is what it is. You got to find a way to play around that and win without a good defensive line. The question everybody wants to know is about these backup quarterbacks. And I've been saying all along, it's an unknown. We don't know what we've got, behind JG? We have no idea, but there's so many people out there that are so confident in the backups. And Johnny Arterburn says, what did you guys think about the backups at quarterback? Will Leonard follows it up and says, Garantano has had many chances, time to switch it up. I didn't see anything today that proves to me otherwise. I think this is Garantano's team. He's going to play every snap against Florida. It is what it is. Maurer did some good things. He showed some flashes that I thought looked good. Trout looked awful. He looked awful to me. And yeah, he's a young kid. His first in-game appearance, right? I don't think he's played.
Yeah, I don't think he played last year.
But it is what it is. He's not ready. And whether we like it or not, whether you like Garantano and you think he's awful and you hate him, I think he gives Tennessee the best chance to win. That's my opinion.
That experience is the biggest thing he's got going for him. You know, he doesn't have the speed that Maurer has. We've seen the last couple of weeks. I mean, even today, he was late on a couple throws. Still had a couple misreads. The game is going to speed up next week, and I don't know that either of those guys can handle that. Garantano's seen that. He's been in games with SEC speed, and yeah, he's not played to his potential this year, and he's left a lot lacking on the field. But you know, Pruitt said it last week. I think Monday echoed. Anybody that's been around the program for the last 6 months knows that he's our quarterback, and he's the one that gives us the best shot to win. He played well, but then again, you know, we've got to look at the competition.
Yeah. Still can't. Go ahead, Dauber. Sorry, buddy.
Well, it's not going to cut it starting next week.
But what do? You have what you have. You are who you are. You can't just create. You can't bring Peyton Manning on the field to play quarterback.
No.
So to me, to sit here and complain and say, put a backup in, I'm just saying I didn't see anything today that showed me otherwise. JP, what were you going to say about it?
Well, to me, it's still obvious that Garantano is still gun shy or you know, just still really, really happy feet, really, because where the offensive line has let him down, you know, the last three years. I mean, you can tell it. I mean, he's just not comfortable back there in the pocket. And you know, yeah, we can argue that he holds on to the ball too long, but I think he also lets the pocket, even when it's not breaking down, he kind of gives up on the play almost, you know. Even that first touchdown, I mean, you know, he did step up and he kind of rolled out there and found Jennings. I think even the announcer alluded to it. You know, they was like, I'm not sure why that he really even tried to scramble there. So, you know, I mean, I don't know, but I agree with Boogie. I mean, I didn't see anything out of 12 and 18 today that would give me any confidence at all that they could go down to the Swamp next Saturday and pull out a win, you know. And I think what Tennessee fans need to realize is, you know, we went down to Auburn last year with Garantano and Tennessee won. We beat Kentucky last year that was ranked 12th with Garantano. You know, that's why I felt all along that they would continue rolling with him, because of the experience, like Dauber said, that he has. But also, you know, I mean, I just don't believe that these coaches are going to throw somebody out there that's not performing in practice. Right. You know, and I mean, it is. I mean, he is probably, or it appears to be, the best option that we have under center. So at that point in time, what can Chaney do? What can the rest of the coaches do to coach him up to where maybe, you know, he can improve upon, you know, the issues that he's been having. Now, whether or not that's good enough, you know, next Saturday, because I mean, you know, bottom line next Saturday is that game will be won at the line of scrimmage. If Tennessee is unable to stop Florida's running game, or allowing Franks back there to have time and those speedy wide receivers, we'll get blown out of the football game. I mean, that's just the way it is. And if our offensive line struggles, I mean, it'll be a repeat of last year. I mean, they'll be sacking Garantano, and he'll be fumbling, or he'll be throwing picks.
I'm curious to see what the offensive line does next week, because we all know that Florida defensive line is nasty. And I like what I've seen at times out of the offensive line. They're not perfect. We beat it into the ground, how they struggle on 3rd and short, 4th and short. Jonathan Santos says, if JG left, who would you start? And listen, I think Maurer showed some promise today. He did some things that I liked. I wish we could have seen him throw it around a little bit more. He didn't get a huge opportunity to do that, but obviously he's quick, man. He's a lot faster than I thought he was. Which opens up the playbook some. But again, it's unknown. He just didn't show enough that you would say, oh, you got to start him over JG. I don't think you do that, and I don't understand anybody that thinks they saw something that proves otherwise. I don't understand that argument. The backup quarterback, I've said it before, I've said it all the time on this podcast, is the sexiest player on the team. Everybody loves a backup quarterback for some reason.
It's always like that.
And I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I defend the starting quarterback and catch so much hate for it when you're talking about unknowns. And then now we got a little bit more data to go on, and I still don't see it.
Yeah. I mean, had we seen all three guys the first 3 weeks and had more to go off of, we could maybe make a little bit more educated guess and say, okay, yeah, he showed it out on the game field under the lights. Because, the coaching staff, they see these guys day in and day out in practice. We're talking about these guys are getting paid millions of dollars to put the best product out on the field. These assistant coaches and coordinators, that they're wanting to increase their stock. They're wanting to be successful. Why would they put someone out there that they don't have confidence in, or at least is the best option that they have? I think, it's coming into the season with another new coordinator, another new system. It's, shuffling in and out of the line. It's bad reads. I think JP said it last week, going back to the Mizzou game when Garantano got knocked out. I mean, he has not been the same quarterback that we saw since then. He just, I don't know if mentally something just, is off, or if he just completely lacks confidence in himself. But it's not the same guy that we've seen in the years past. And today was a bit better. But again, I'm going to go back to the competition on the field.
Well, he seemed to have more confidence today. And I think that's a big part of it. JP said, I think Wednesday night, something changed at the end of last season, and something's missing. It's confidence, man. He doesn't have the confidence to let the ball go. And they talk about how he overanalyzes everything and overthinks everything. And I think that's a big factor, man. He needs the confidence to let it fly, trust his receivers. That's one thing. I can't remember. I think it was Maurer threw up a good 50-50 ball to somebody on the outside. And it was incomplete, but it was up there where the receiver had a chance to go and make a play. And that's something Garantano, that's how they beat Auburn, man, is just throwing it up and letting receivers go make plays. And they're not doing that. Guys, we got 54 in the live chat. Do us a favor. Make sure you do smash that like button. Share out the link. It breaks my heart that when they lose to a team like Georgia State, we got 200 people in here. They lose to BYU, we got 300 people in here. But we can't get together and celebrate a victory. So share out the link. Let's grow this live chat. Wookie's gone wild. It's becoming a regular thing here on the podcast on Saturdays. Boogie, what beer you got today? I'm going with a little old school PBR.
PBR.
Nothing wrong with PBR. It's for some reason it's a trendy beer. Again, I like a little PBR. I did have a Foster's to start things off. Foster's
and a big fat
filet. Yeah, that's what I did last week. Had a Foster's, and then but this week I had a steak to go along with it. What a great lunch to start off the day.
I think one of those last comments was Talkin VAWLS was asking about Thompson. From my understanding, I don't even think that he even dressed today.
No, he wasn't dressed.
Yeah,
he's I think on the practice field, and
that's it.
My understanding is still sort of limited in what he's doing on the practice field. So I think
I just don't see him playing next Saturday with that that court date.
Because he's in trouble, or because he's not played?
No, I mean I think they're going to if they would play him if he wasn't in trouble, even though that he hadn't played. It's just that they're not going to let him play until that court date's over. I mean,
it's not like he missed, all.
Yeah.
It was a week before the season when this happened.
So it's not it at all.
And that's I want to touch on that. I think that's part of the reason we've struggled against the run as well. Our back end, the secondary, they're not coming up in run support. It's we're getting gashed on plays. The read option, the spread stuff that we saw last week. Those guys got to be crashing in hard and supporting the linebackers, and I think it's you've got some guys playing out of position in the secondary because of losing some guys and Thompson being out, but we saw that a little bit today too. We gave up 150 yards to Chattanooga on the ground.
No, that's not good.
And it starts up front. It's like JB. There was a drive there. Was it maybe the third quarter? And JB said, this defensive line's just getting gashed. And that's where it all starts, man.
Yeah, it does. But you've also got to have the back end coming in and supporting the first level and then the second level at the linebackers, because it's they can't just sit back there and get pushed around, blocked by a wide receiver and taken completely out of the play.
No, a lot of it with the linebackers too is filling the wrong gaps.
That
goes back to lining up right. They're not lining up right.
Yeah, and as a linebacker, all it takes is just one wrong step, or if you hesitate, and boom, I mean, there's a big old hole then.
Case in point, Colton Jumper.
Oh yeah.
One step late.
Yeah.
One step out of position.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew what to do. He just wasn't athletic enough to be there.
Yeah. But I'm not even sure that it's. I mean, I'm not saying that these linebackers, outside of Batuli and Toto is very athletic or whatever. But I just think that these guys, that they just don't know really where to go. I mean,
you've got a converted running back.
Yeah, who probably played better than Ignat and Shannon Reed today.
Absolutely.
So
Will Leonard's looking for that like button, buddy. You find it and you smash it when you find it, and then share out the link. We need more Vols in here. I agree. It's heartbreaking. Tennessee does what they're supposed to do, and we don't celebrate. Everybody's just out doing other things. They're out mowing the yard. They're out watching Pee Wee football. I don't know what they're doing.
I need to mow.
Yeah,
I need to mow too.
I'm going to that football game though tonight, so they won't be no mowing for me.
Go Bucks.
Yeah. But I mean, what kind of positives? I mean, obviously pitching a shutout's positive. I mean, is there any kind of positives that you all seen? One that I was encouraged on, and I mean, he came close, especially there in the second half, to getting him a sack or two, was Crouch. I mean, I think
he's been playing good, man. He played good against BYU. He played good against BYU also.
But I mean, he played pretty much that whole game today, and I think that you can tell that coaching staff is like, this is the type of athlete, this type of football player that we need on the field, and I think that as this season goes on, I'm sure that he's going to take his lumps over the next few weeks when starting in the conference play and stuff like that. But I think Crouch, by the time that the season ends, I think that he could potentially end up being our most consistent pass rusher.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, that's the same thing with Banks out there. I think the staff is looking and assessing. This guy wants to be out there. He's got a nose for the ball. I mean, we saw that today with 2 picks.
I just want to point out to the hater that is mad about the Nigel Warrior comments. Jeremy Banks, former running back, now has as many interceptions in his career as Nigel Warrior. So take that for what it's worth. Sorry, I'm a real jerk.
But what happens next week when Nigel does a pick 6 in the swamp? You're gonna be singing his praises then.
What's hilarious? You're the one that started the Nigel Warrior hate. Don't come at me, bro. Don't come at me. You're the one that started all that.
Back to some positives that we saw. You know, the +5 in turnovers. That's a big thing, and that's you know the what Pruitt builds his defense around is creating havoc, getting to the ball, and causing those turnovers. And we saw what comes out of that: short field.
Yeah.
And for an offense that struggles to sustain drives, to take the ball and go 80 yards is tough. When you've got to go 40, you know, we start the game with that kickoff return is brought out to the 40. It sets us up great. You know, we get block punt, a fumble, a pick, and all those result in short fields.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's how Bama wins, you know, a lot of their football. Well, I mean, it's not the sole reason, but I mean, that's why that they blow so many people out. I mean, look at what that they've done to us, you know, in recent years. I mean, to be 21-0 before we even, you know, fans really even get in their seats because they've already picked us off or blocked a punt or, you know, ran one back and you know, got a short field to work with and stuff like that. So, you know, but you know, another positive. What about Tennessee's special teams and the kicking game? I mean, at some time, you know, I feel like that this football season, our kicking game is going to win a game for us.
Oh, it's a big edge.
I mean,
when's the last time we had a kicker as money as Samaglia is? He's money. He's money.
Well, it sure wasn't. What's his face that nailed the uprights more times than he split them.
We've not had a kicker this consistent in a long time.
Maybe Will Hoyt. Maybe Will.
Yeah,
Will Hoyt.
I don't even know if he was that consistent.
Go back to Hall.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff Hall was pretty money, but Medley.
That was a long time ago too.
Medley was the one that hit the uprights more often. I'd never seen anybody hit the freaking uprights more than that dude.
And not just the uprights, the crossbar too.
I know. You know, I thought he was. They had a magnet on the football or something there. It seemed like for sure. But no, I mean, you know, kicking game. You know, with the really. I mean, all the way across the board. I mean, you know, kickoffs have been good. Yeah,
Doyle, Hunting,
getting the unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, hey,
Did you see, he was talking to one of the other kickers, and he was laughing right after that penalty, and then he looked out of the corner of his eye, and Pruitt was giving him an earful. Man, it was so funny because he was laughing about it, and then it was like, oh wait, I'm in the doghouse.
Yeah,
now, I want to get on that though. That is one thing that we can't afford.
No, and how many did we have today? 3, 4.
We don't have the margin of error to make up for stupid penalties and just blatant dumb mistakes.
Yeah,
Flowers had a dumb one. Trey Smith had a dumb one. The Trey Smith one, I almost got excited when it first happened because I thought somebody was picking on his quarterback, and that was a big thing in the BYU game. Everybody was saying, "Look at how Garantano reacted when that lineman threw his shoe." There was no fire. It was the typical
like a tattletale. Like,
I'm trying to not say the millennial response, but it was. He looked at the referee like, "Daddy, he threw my shoe. Did you see that?"
Well, I don't know.
Where's Garantano's balls? Where was somebody on that offensive line? I mean, JP, you're an old offensive lineman. What'd you do if somebody picked on your quarterback? You got in their grill. And that's
Well,
what I
yeah,
thought. That's
you
what I
get in their
thought
grill.
Trey Smith was doing. And
But
I got a little excited about it, but it was just a stupid penalty. There was no reason for it.
I don't know that anybody realized exactly what happened. It wasn't like he got laid out. The guy tackled him, ripped off his shoe during the tackle, and then just chucked it to the sideline.
Yeah.
And not even to the sideline, like deep into the bench.
That's the strangest play ever.
Tracy Brown says Ignat punched a guy. Yeah, it was a straight right hand to the face. Punched a dude.
Yeah.
For no reason.
I mean, just stupid. But, you know, if this team, allows Florida to extend drives because of personal fouls and stupid penalties like that, oh my God.
We cannot
the most
afford
frustrating thing in the world.
Cannot afford to give up extra free yardage to anybody.
Oh yeah.
We don't do our predictions until the Wednesday night podcast, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. every week right here on the SMB network. I don't think any of us are going to pick Tennessee to beat Florida. I just don't think it's going to happen. But again, I kept saying it today. We are what we thought we were. I think Tennessee overlooked Georgia State. They went down to the wire with BYU. They took care of business against UTC. But now we're getting into the gauntlet. And they got their hands full. Can they find a way to go 6-6? I don't know. We'll find out. Any other positives, Dauber? What other positive outlooks do you have coming out of this UTC game?
I mean, that's the type of game that we needed. We should have opened the year up with a game like that.
Yep.
But coming off the 0-2, it gets that taste out of our mouth. It builds some confidence going into Gainesville next week. We got a lot of guys game reps. And you can say whatever you want. Oh, they've been in the program. They've been through spring camp. They've been through fall camp. Everything changes when you get between the stripes in a game. You're not hitting your teammates. You're hitting the other guy. And there's, a win or loss on the line. And we didn't see that in the opener. They just came out, and I think they thought it was a scrimmage. I mean, they just no passion, no intensity from the top down. But yeah, I mean, JG looked decent. I mean, we've got some momentum rolling into next week. I'll flip it over to you, JP. And
well, I was just glad to see, all of the youth out there getting some playing time. I mean, that's one thing that we've talked about on these shows before is, these type of games like this, for whatever reason, we, haven't been able to get these kids in there and give them some game action. I mean, yeah, I understand that it was UT Chattanooga and the competition went there, but I mean, I think just the ability to give somebody like Crouch that much live game experience, I mean, is going to help him grow so much more, and I mean, like I said earlier, I'm extremely excited about him. I wouldn't be shocked at all if Crouch doesn't make a huge play for us next Saturday. Not saying that it's going to win the game for the Vols or anything like that, but I wouldn't be shocked at all to see Crouch make a big time play for us next Saturday. I mean, look back at that BYU game. I mean, he almost had the game winning interception right before we gave up that 70-yard pass. So, Crouch is. I think he's got a nose for football, but all of those kids like that, being able to get Darnell Wright and Wandy Morse, all of that time, playing left guard and right guard. I mean, left tackle and right guard. One thing here, I gotta leave right quick to go to that game, but one thing that gives me hope, and we'll talk about this Wednesday on the podcast about the Florida Gators, supposedly, and I don't know anything about Florida. I'm going to record that game and watch it probably tomorrow, them in Kentucky. But one thing that they keep on saying, and I hear that the weak link of Florida is their offensive line, and Tennessee's weak link is the defensive line. So which one of those two bad things can possibly be better better next week, so, who knows, but, anyway, guys, I've got to run. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your podcast. Appreciate everybody jumping on here after the big win over the Mocs, and I'll see everybody Wednesday night. Go Vols!
All right, later, JP. Go Bucks! How about go Bucks?
That's right.
All right,
Go
later, JP.
Bucks. See ya.
All right, and just for everybody in the live chat, there are 70 of you right now. Smash the like button, share out the link. Just so you guys know, it's not just me. Mine is visible. Do you think that it's water in Dauber's cup? Do you think there's water in that cup? Come on, guys. Come on. I guess this podcast is going to get real positive now because the nega ball's gone. So it's going to be all optimism, balls by 60 moving forward. I'm trying to think any other positives I saw.
I mean, we've talked about it's all three phases that there were positives in.
Yeah,
we've touched on the special teams, Samaglia, Doyle punting, the
return game, the
return game. If we can make a couple guys miss, that's and we've seen it the first two games as well. We've had a couple big returns to set up drives, and like I said, this offense isn't built to go 80, 85, 90 yards. Can they? Maybe, but they've got to be clicking. We've got to get consistent play from the line. We've got to be able to run the ball. And what we've seen the biggest weak link so far this year, JG's got to be able to find the open receivers and get it to them on time.
I think consistency is the key. You're not going to beat a team like Florida unless you're consistent across the board. The offensive line, the defensive line, the quarterback play, just across the board. Garantano's got to find confidence somewhere between now and next week. And I said that to a buddy texting throughout the game. As I said, I don't know if they were up 21, 28, nothing, something at the time. And I said, I don't know if I want to see the young kids play or if I want to let them ride with JG and let him continue to build his confidence. Something has to change with him. He's got to pull the trigger faster if they're going to beat these teams. It's like the touchdown to who was it? The play off the play action. And JP thought it was late. And I said, I don't really think it was late. I just think it was a slow developing play. But you make a throw like that against a Florida or a Georgia, that's an interception. If you don't get sacked before you get rid of the ball.
It's at least knocked down.
Brandy Adams says, hey, Bentley, Vols JP heard the Negaval comment. He knows I love him, and he knows I'm going to say that. It just is what it is. Go ahead, Dauber.
I mean, at the very minimum, a pass like that next week is knocked down, if not picked.
Yeah, I don't even know if he gets the playoff.
Yeah,
they were in the backfield. He set his feet immediately after carrying out the play action fake. We got orders coming in for the Talkin VAWLS podcast T-shirt. Thank you, Scotty. Whoever nice. Scotty is in the chat, I'm getting the emails that you just ordered a T-shirt. We appreciate the support. Listen. We talked about it this week. What do we do with this money? You guys are so generous, man. Like, it's cool that you guys show up to hang out with us, but the fact that you're buying T-shirts, some of you are doing super chats, over here in the chat. Obviously, we can monetize videos on YouTube. You see these stupid, annoying squiggle lines on my screen? This is a brand new laptop, and it's pissing me off that it does that. So I think I'm going to take some of that money and buy a new webcam this week because I got to get better quality, and that makes me mad. But we appreciate the support, whether it's T-shirt purchases, super chats, just liking the video and sharing out the link. It's just awesome that you guys are here hanging out with us. But I will tell you, look at me and Dauber. We're rocking the official Talkin VAWLS T-shirts. I was so happy. They're so, like, everybody says they're soft. And then I got mine. I'm like, these, what'd you say? They're the same T-shirts that Boomtown uses?
Yeah, Boomtown uses a lot of these to do their shirts that they print. And there's a place in Knoxville, Nothing Too Fancy. Their next level shirts. I love them. They're comfortable. They're thin. I was pretty stoked to open it up today and see that, and I was like, oh yeah. So
Yeah, let me say this. Any of you guys in the live chat that have got your t-shirt, a couple of you sent us a direct message on Facebook and Twitter showing us your shirt, which is awesome. We appreciate that. One of you said, hey, we're undefeated in our Talkin VAWLS t-shirts. That's so cool. Tweet them out at Talkin VAWLS_pod. Let me throw up the Twitter handle here real quick.
Yeah,
tweet them at Talkin VAWLS_pod. We'll retweet them. I want people to see, I want to see you guys in your shirts, and I want to retweet them.
Throw it up on Facebook and tag us.
Yeah, tag us. Spread the word, man. Let's grow this podcast. It's a community. It is a community, and we love hanging out with you guys every Wednesday at 7 p.m. and also on Saturdays immediately following the games. We can't look ahead to Florida yet. I don't know. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? I think Tennessee did a good job today converting on third downs. They did a good job converting in the red zone. But again, I feel like, hey, it's UT Chattanooga. That's what they're supposed to do. So how do you look forward to Florida? How do you use this as momentum as we move into SEC play? Can you?
You think 4 of 10 is good on third downs?
Is that what they ended up?
Yeah.
Well, that's not good. But when I was looking at that, it was with the starters in.
A lot of that was
second half.
Up. Yeah,
that second half.
A game like this, the stats are going to be a little skewed. I'm glad we maintained and kept the shutout. We got that last pick there at the end.
I think the starters were. It was 3 or 4, 4 or 5, something very high on third down.
Garantano ended up 7 of 8, something like that, with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I mean, not a whole lot of play from him, but it's all positive, and that's what I like. It's something to build on. It's something to go into next week with a little bit of confidence. Coming off of the first 2 games, that's what we need.
JT Arterburn says JG's roommate, wasn't it Trey Smith that said this quote? Said that he was hard on himself all the time. We kind of mentioned that earlier, and that's what I wish he would let loose, be relaxed, and just sling it, man. Just go out and play football. But some people aren't wired that way. If he's overanalyzing everything, it might be difficult for him to do.
Well, I mean, and we've seen him play very well, but I said it Wednesday. I don't think he is the type of quarterback that is going to take over a game and just dominate it. I think he's more of a game manager, a maintainer. When he is clicking and everything is going well, we'll ride with him. When things are bad, and he's staring down one target and he's throwing into double and triple coverage, I mean, that's not what you want to see, especially from a redshirt junior.
Yeah, but if Tennessee can continue to run the ball like they have been, and we'll see, that's going to change in SEC play. You just need a game manager. Right. He can be a game manager. But the problem is, like you said, when you're put in those situations where you got to lean on him to make a play, can he deliver or not? That's yet to be seen. Joshua Tree says, do you think a bowl game is possible? Listen, this is something I preached on last week, caught some hate for it. I still think this can be a 6-6 football team. That's what I said going into the season. I said 6-6. I said they could go 5-7. I said they could go 7-5, but 6-6 is where I thought they would be. Of course, one of those wins, I was leaning on Georgia State to be one of those wins.
Yeah, you had the BYU as a
toss-up. I think that BYU game went exactly as I expected it to. It's unfortunate the way they lost it, coming down to the last play of the game and letting the guy get behind you.
Leading the whole game. Yeah,
But the bottom line is I didn't count that as a win, and I still thought this team could find a way to get 6 wins. The problem is, again, counting on that Georgia State game to be a win, and now it's a loss. But look, you got Florida and Georgia back-to-back weeks. That's tough. That's tough. I don't know. I can't pick this team to beat Florida. I don't see it. Can they beat Florida? Yeah. Would I pick them to beat Florida? No, probably not. I think that Mississippi State game between Georgia and Alabama is huge. I think that if this team is going to be bowl eligible, they have to beat Mississippi State at home on October 12th. They got to do it. They got to find a way to win that game.
It's a big game.
James Gentry says, thanks for the sticker. I got it today. That's awesome. That's Dauber's baby. What we're doing some predictions. Obviously, we haven't looked at them from this week because the game just ended. But if you listen on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m., we do something. The first one was a score prediction. This week for the UTC game, it was how many rushing yards would the Vols have as a team. Dauber will go through those this week. And then Wednesday night when we go live at 7, he'll announce the winners. All you got to do is DM us your address, and he'll get those sent out. James Gentry, we just ask you to do one thing, and that's put it where people will see it. And when they ask what Talkin VAWLS is, direct them to the podcast so we can grow this awesome community that we're creating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pitch. You're supposed to transition.
No. I mean, we definitely appreciate all the guys that tune in. Wednesday nights, Saturday afternoons, Saturday evenings. It's so much fun to, just get together and commiserate or celebrate after days like today. But just get together with other like-minded Vol fans, and I enjoy seeing your guys' comments and getting your guys' takes as well. It's just when Boogie and JP asked me in the off season to step in and join them, I was a bit hesitant because this is a little bit out of my comfort zone. But man, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying just coming in and hanging out with you guys each week. Even though the first two have been kind of a struggle, I've grown up just like you guys, spoiled with 9-10 win seasons, and the Vols just going through what the Vol Network dubbed the decade of dominance. And now we've kind of gone through the couple decades of despair here the last little bit. But, we got to hold out hope and but believe in Pruitt and the staff and the players. Because, listen, they're not down there to lose. They're not down there to tank. They're wanting to win games and be successful, because ultimately, it's either the end of their football careers or a springboard to their next level and next opportunities. So
that's why it's a fine line, man. You can be critical, but you got to be careful with what you say and what you do, especially when they're some of these guys are 18, 19-year-old kids.
And that's what I was going to next. You look at, we'll throw Bryce Thompson back out there again, and his situation and the things he's going through and dealing with. If he were just booted off the team, where would he go? What would happen? But being on the team, having that brotherhood, that support, and that direction, it sounds like they've set up, some sort of program or things that he has to do to get back onto the playing field. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what this is about. The wins and losses, I'm as competitive as a person as there is. It crushes me when we drop a game. And the last, my kids don't know a winning season, with Tennessee football. And I was lucky enough to meet Coach Pruitt last year and take my son and said to him, Coach Pruitt grabbed him, picked him up. It was holding him. And I said, Coach, I'm looking for Tennessee to return to what it was when I was his age, when I was growing up, watching the guys like we talked about in the show right before the season. Our favorite players, Reggie Cobb, Chuck Webb, Carl Pickens, these guys. I want my son to have good memories of Tennessee football, not this mentality that we're in right now.
We're a joke. We're the laughing stock.
Yeah, and
people weren't even talking about the loss to Georgia State because it's expected.
Well, it's the culture that we're in now.
Yeah,
you have an entire generation of Tennessee fans who don't know what it's like to win, and they don't know what it's like to be successful and relevant.
A lot of people in the live chat talking about that Florida game, talking about Felipe Franks being a head case. IC86 says UT can stop Frankie in Florida. It's the Great Wall of Georgia that the UT defensive front has to deal with. Beacon says next week is our first real opponent with a beast of a defense. Next week is when we will see if our offensive line has truly improved. That's true. Next week is when it all starts. That's SEC play. It's a real opponent. We are going to find out. We're going to find out because we didn't learn much today. It doesn't matter against UTC. You got to prove it against a team like Florida. What I want to ask you guys, there's a lot of you interacting in the live chat. There's a lot of you just lurking, not saying much of anything, but you have smashed that like button, which we appreciate. What I want to know is, do you guys want tailgating with Talkin VAWLS next week? So get in the live chat right now and let us know. Because if we don't hear from you and you don't let us know, we're not going to do it. We did it for BYU. It was fun. It's not really anything technical or analytical. We hung out, we drank beer, and we let some of you on the show with us. So if you guys want us to do tailgating with Talkin VAWLS for the Florida game, let us know. We'll do it about an hour before kickoff for 45 minutes or so. Just hang out with you guys, and then we'll go live immediately after the game also.
Yeah, we'll probably throw that out again Wednesday night.
Yeah,
and kind of get a feel and make a decision at that point.
Yeah, we just want to do what you guys want to do. If you guys don't care, then we won't do it. But if you guys want it, we try to do what you guys want. James Gentry says, damn right we do. Ron Rockwell says, tailgate, tailgate, tailgate. I'm going to have to buy some more PBR, guys. Rhonda Orr says, yes, sir.
Well,
Jeremy Webb says, are you barbecuing? Well, JP was smoking some meat for that BYU game.
Dude, it's a 12 o'clock game.
Yeah. So that means JP will be up at about 2 o'clock in the morning getting the smoker rolling, man.
We went to Lynn Garden Restaurant this morning for breakfast. Had the old breakfast buffet there.
I went to Dunkin' Donuts and got a large iced coffee. That's what I had for breakfast. William Pennington says, would like tailgating, but unfortunately my wife wants to go camping, so I won't be around. Well, William, just tell your wife you're going to do what you want to do. That's spend time with Talkin VAWLS. Let me know how that works out for you.
Hey,
we're about what?
Well, I was just going to say if it happens, we'll be here. If it doesn't, we'll probably be texting each other anyway.
That's why I kind of like doing tailgating with Talkin VAWLS because it's like it's so funny because that BYU game. I was like, oh, I hate night games because all I do is sit around wasting my day. I'm like, I can't wait till Tennessee plays. So I do nothing all day. And then they played at 12 o'clock today. And I'm like, I still don't do anything all day. My entire Saturday is around the Vols. A lot of you guys commenting in the chat saying you want us to do it. So there's a good chance we'll do it. I can't remember. Something was going on with the schedule this weekend. Was it you or JP? Somebody can't make the tailgate. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I think JP's working.
Yeah, that's what it was. So it might just be me and Dauber hanging out with you guys. God, we're almost to an hour. I feel like it flew by. Any final comments you want to say? Guys, we'll have the I'm going to go watch the Florida game tonight. We'll break down Tennessee, Florida on Wednesday at 7 o'clock right here on the SMB network. If some of you listen on a podcast platform, make sure you leave us a rating on iTunes. That's something I never mentioned.
That's Louise came in last night and said, "Hey, I found you on my Apple podcast platform." I was like,
and again, that's courtesy of the Outright Geekery Podcast Network. They laugh because they're all a bunch of nerds that all they talk about is comic books, and all the podcasts are like geek fandom. And they're like, oh, God, we're the best podcast until freaking football season. What the hell is Talkin VAWLS? But shout out to those guys, Ryan Gomer and the Outright Geekery, for hooking us up with podcasts.
Definitely appreciate them. Appreciate all you guys in the live chat right now. We will look forward to seeing you Wednesday, unless you've got anything else.
I don't, man. I don't. And it's one of those weird podcasts because it's UTC, so there's not a whole lot we can say or do. we'll find out. We'll find out Saturday against Florida. We're going to find out what we are. Dwayne Williams says he'll be tailgating with us here in Georgia. Well, we look forward to it, even if it's just me and Dauber.
Right on.
Hopefully I can get a new webcam by then. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But you got anything?
Well, if JP can't make it, it'll be me, you, and Sailor Jerry.
Is that what's in your cup?
Maybe.
Oh, man.
Maybe not.
That's so much better than what I'm drinking. All right, guys. For Dauber Greer, I'm Boogie Bentley. Make sure you give us a follow on Twitter at TalkinVAWLS_pod, and also be sure to smash that like button.
Jack Kerouac, he drank himself to death in New England, and I'd like to take his hand and say, Jack, man, it's okay. Now he's gone, and we're left to move on without him. The songs howl like me, poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive.
Go Big Orange.